Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. We have a Chelsea versus Brighton match review. I'm going to be starting to do more of these. So if you do want to see them, make sure you drop a like. Let's try and hit 30 likes. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button with post notifications turned on. We're trying to hit 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's going to be a challenge, but I think we can do it. But anyway, Chelsea beat Brighton at the Amex Stadium 3-1. What we're going to do is we're going to go through all the goals that were scored, talk about them. Then we're going to talk about a couple of key players and key moments and just an overall review of the match. Starting with the opening goal, which was a penalty scored by Jorginho. It was a great bit of kind of instinct play by Timo Werner up front. Ball got put through and he used his rapid acceleration to get past their keeper, and they brought him down for a penalty. I think everyone can agree it was a penalty, and then Jorginho delightfully put it away with his little technique. Lovely penalty. Then that was the first half over. Now the first half overall I'd say was quite balanced. They had good chances, we were alright. We didn't look very settled. Now the important thing to note about Chelsea at the moment is we're not going to be that settled. There's a lot of new players coming in the club, and not all these new players aren't going to combine straight away. So we need to be aware of that, because if we just think we're going to walk into a game against Brighton and win like 4-0 comfortably, it's not going to be the case, sadly. It's going to take some time. There are going to be some teething errors, etc, etc. So a good, nice start in the first half. Not good enough, but it was alright. We just hung on 1-0. Then in the 54th minute, after Brighton really kind of pressuring us for 9 straight minutes after half-time, Trossard scored quite a lovely strike from outside the top of the right box. Now, I'm going to straight away say it, Kepa should have saved it. He is, again, as everyone knows, not good enough to be the keeper for Chelsea Football Club. We obviously have a new keeper coming in the way. Not good enough from him. A nice finish though, even though it should have been saved. It was a very nice finish. Brighton came 1-1, and that was probably, at that point in the match, a fair result. Then in the 56th minute of the match, Reece James, our right back, scored what can only be described as a thunderblast. It absolutely, right foot rocket, whizzed into that top right corner. Keeper had no chance. Poor Matty Ryan, he did not know what to do. It nearly broke the net. Incredible strike, a bit of magic from Reece James. Now the interesting part about it was Tariq Lamptey, Brighton's right back, was absolutely having the game of his life, and he obviously was sold from Chelsea to Brighton, I think due to the part that we already have Reece James as our promising young right back, so there would be no point for two. So I think Reece James kind of shut everyone up when they were saying, why did he get rid of Lamptey, because he's unbelievable. Reece James put that on top bins, and was an incredible goal. Quite lucky in the scenario that we're in, but nevertheless, you need those moments of class if you're a top team to get those wins. Then 10 minutes later, Reece James himself took a lovely corner. It's going to be quite exciting to see James on corners. I also think Ziyech will be on corners as well when he comes in. Both of them have incredible deliveries, both on the right and left foot, so hopefully we can get in swingers on both of them, and we'll be able to score a lot of corners this season. But anyway, Reece James took a corner, went straight to Zuma. Zuma had a little swivel shot, took quite a big deflection. Still Zuma's goal, but it went in, and that was 3-1 Chelsea. And that was really the end of the game in terms of goals. That was 3-1. Although this Chelsea defence isn't the strongest at the moment, it was still pretty much game over. We'd made some slightly more defensive subs, and that was really the end of the game. So overall, a fairly deserved win. If it was a draw, I wouldn't have been shocked, but we just had the killer instinct to hopefully get the 3-1, really. One thing I do want to talk about is our new signings, because everyone's going to be talking about that, because A, they cost a lot of money, and B, everyone wants to see them perform. I thought Timo Werner was extremely encouraging. That guy is so fast. He was running till the minute he stopped playing. It was great to see. He's clearly got a striker instinct. He scored the second most goals in the Bundesliga last season, so he's obviously going to be ready for a goal. So it would have been nice for him to get a goal to just get him off the mark. Sadly, it didn't happen. But nevertheless, that guy is so promising, and I cannot wait to see him in the future. Kai Havertz didn't have as promising a debut. He was not slow, but he just felt like he got a bit lost in it. Now, midfielders from the Bundesliga, I feel, take quite a lot of time to adapt due to the change of pace, so that's fully understandable. He was also playing on the right the entirety of the game, and I think he might play more central throughout his Chelsea career, so it'll be interesting to see the change there.
Speaking of playing through the middle, my goodness, poor Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He had a terrible game. His first touch was off, heavy touches. His passes weren't accurate at all. There was a point where he could have fed Werner through, didn't. There are so many times where I think if Havertz was playing that central attacking midfield role, we would have had a much more dominant performance. I think him and Werner are going to link up excellently. I don't know why we didn't do that. I think what we should have realistically started with was Mount, Havertz in the middle, and then on the right or the left have Hudson-Odoi and Mount on whichever other wing. I just felt like we needed a midfielder at that point. But nevertheless, I'm not saddened by Havertz's lack of performance, if you will. Another thing I'm glad of is I'm glad of the fact that we started Kurt Zouma and Christensen. We didn't start Rudiger, especially Zouma. I think he is going to be a crucial part of the season. I think when Thiago Silva comes, they're going to be the main centre-back partnership. Well, I hope so at least. I mean, he's a great player. Zouma, I think he does have a lot of potential. He got a goal tonight, which was brilliant. But nevertheless, I'm not going to take anything away from Christensen because I thought he was defensively brilliant and he read the game extremely well tonight. So overall from the defence, even though we conceded that goal, an alright performance, slightly better than what we were seeing from last season. If we honestly get this new keeper and he saves goals like that, we'll be looking at clean sheets, which will hopefully be a lot of progress. I'm just so terrified at corners, and I shouldn't be as a Chelsea fan. We're meant to have this really good defences, and I shouldn't be scared at a corner against Brighton. I mean, they have a couple of tall centre-backs, but that's about it. So, get new keeper sorted, and we tighten up defence, bring in players like Chilwell and your Thiago Silvas. I reckon this team could be looking good. Another thing you have to bear in mind is we've scored 3 goals. Some of them were lucky. We scored 3 goals with, in my opinion, 5 missing starting players. I mean, we haven't got Pulisic and Ziyech on the wings. 2 incredible players. Especially Pulisic. He is probably the best player at Chelsea at the moment based on form playing for Chelsea. And then we're missing Kovacic in midfield. Would have had a brilliant game today. I would have been interested to see what he would have done instead of Jorginho today. Thiago Silva and Chilwell would have been great in the team. Alonso was actually fairly decent, but Tariq Lamptey was ripping past him down the wing. So it would just be nice to have Chilwell and James on the wings and a nice bit of pace on both sides. And that experience of Thiago Silva at centre-back would have been great. And Kovacic dominating the midfield and with some actual wingers on the wing. So once those things start coming in, we're going to be looking great. We're going to be looking like a team that has pace, energy, dynamism, just everything you need. I don't think dynamism is a word, but we'll go with it. So yeah, that is my opinions, my thoughts, my logic behind what I saw at the Chelsea match. Let me know if you want more of this. I was watching the game really trying to understand and think what I was going to say for this video. I'd love to do more of these. If you do enjoy, make sure you drop a like, subscribe down below if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time for another video. Peace.